Good evening. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. Welcome to BMC News Live in English, brought to you by Al-Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. I am Vinod Narayanan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines.
Bahrain announced Hijri New Year holiday. Bahrain appointed a special committee for national youth empowerment. High-level Bahrain delegation attended UK's Fanborough International Air Show. Draupadi Murmu was sworn in as India's new president on Monday. Saudi prohibited work permits for newly hired foreign workers in Nitakat yellow category. Record number of COVID hit Australians in hospital as Omicron surges.
News in detail. Bahrain announced Hijri New Year holiday. His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, today issued a circular regarding the 1444 Hijri New Year holiday. According to the circular, the kingdom's ministries and public institutions will be closed on the 1st of Muharram, corresponding to Saturday 30th July 2022. As Saturday is already an official holiday, Sunday 31st July will be given in lieu, the circular added. Bahrain appointed Special Committee for National Youth Empowerment. A national database of Bahrain's efforts and initiatives in empowering the youth will be created by a newly appointed committee specialized in youth empowerment. The 12-member committee, chaired by Youth and Sports Minister Ayman Al-Moaid, aims to enhance coordination between the public and private sectors, while also involving high-performing youth in strategic national projects. The Minister of Youth and Sports Affairs has said Bahrain is taking a special path in building national capacities and investing in the energies and capabilities of youth. The Minister of Youth and Sports Affairs has said Ayman bin Tawfiq Al-Moaid said that Bahrain's distinguished policy is evident through the initiatives of His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, representative of His Majesty the King, for humanitarian work and youth affairs for the empowerment of youth. This has made the kingdom a global model in empowering youth and preparing them to have a crucial role in shaping Bahrain's future, he said. The decision of His Highness Sheikh Nasser to set up the Youth Empowerment Committee in the public and private sectors is the basis for all his initiatives, he added. Finance and National Economy Minister praised housing achievements. Finance and National Economy Minister, His Excellency Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa received His Excellency Bassam bin Yaqub Al Hamar and praised his dedicated efforts during his tenure as Housing Minister. He highlighted national housing achievements in light of the comprehensive development process led by His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa with the follow-up of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. He praised positive results and innovative solutions to optimize housing services, stressing the importance of building on fruitful results across all development sectors. High-level Bahraini delegation attended UK's Fanborough International Air Show. A high-level Bahraini delegation led by Minister of Transportation and Telecommunications Mohammed bin Tamer Al-Kabi attended the Fanborough International Air Show held in Fanborough on July 18th to 21st. The participation in the world event is within the framework of the efforts exerted by the work team of the Bahrain International Air Show, in line with the directives of His Majesty, the King's personal representative and President of the Bahrain International Air Show, Supreme Organizing Committee, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Hamad Al Khalifa, to highlight the Bahrain International Air Show at the international level and to attract mega world aviation companies and international partners to take part in it. The 6th edition of the Bahrain International Air Show, set to be held at the Al Sakir Air Base on November 9 to 11, 2022, will coincide with its 10th anniversary. The third workshop to identify government priorities in the future was held today, focusing on social services. The workshops is in line with the directives of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, to hold workshops to identify the key priorities that will shape the government's future aspirations. Labour Minister Jameen bin Muhammad Ali Humaidan chaired the workshop, which was also attended by ministries, undersecretaries, assistant undersecretaries and relevant directors. Social Development Minister visited Muharraq Social Welfare Center. Minister of Social Development Osama bin Ahmed Khalaf Al Asfour stressed Bahrain's keenness on providing the best services and care for the elderly, pointing out the great interest accorded to this social category by the Ministry of Social Development. This came during an inspection visit to Muharrak Social Welfare Center, accompanied by a number of officials from the ministry and center, which also includes affiliates from the National Bank of Bahrain Elderly Home. Two men on trial for forging their engineering degree in Bahrain. Two men, both of whom are engineers, are in the dock for allegedly forging their bachelor's degree certificates after officials spotted a mismatch on their certificates filed for upgrading their engineering licenses. The men, a 36-year-old Bahraini and a 46-year-old Asian national, are on trial before the High Criminal Court. The Bahraini man secured his engineering license in 2007 and the Asian man in 2014 by allegedly submitting a certificate from a university in Pakistan. Today's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
Draupadi Murmu was sworn in as India's new president on Monday. Draupadi Murmu on Monday took oath as the 15th President of India. In her address after Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramana administered to her the oath in the Central Hall of Parliament, Murmu thanked all MPs and MLAs for electing her. Murmu's nomination as President marks many firsts. Draupadi Murmu is the first president of the country who was born in independent India. The 64-year-old on Monday became the youngest leader to take oath as India's president. She is also the first tribal leader to be elected to the highest constitutional post of the country. Now we will be back after a very short break.
The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahla. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
Welcome back. Saudi prohibited work permits for newly hired foreign workers in Nitakat yellow category. The Ministry of Human Resources and Social Development has stated that no work permits will be issued for the newly hired foreign workers of companies and establishments that fall within the yellow category of the updated Nitakat Saudization program. The ministry made this clarification with regard to queries about the possibility of issuing a work permit for the newly hired foreign workers in the establishments that are within the yellow category of the updated Nitakat program. Saudi expatriate couple jailed for 12 years for money laundering. A Saudi woman and her husband of Arab nationality were sentenced to a total of 12 years in prison and fines amounting to Saudi Riyal 50 million after their conviction in money laundering offences involving more than Saudi Riyal 63 million. The special court dealing with economic offences also ordered the confiscation of a similar value of the funds transferred abroad, as well as the funds seized in the accounts of the accused and the commercial entity. In addition to travel ban for the woman citizen for a period equal for her prison term, deportation of foreign defendants after serving jail term, and permanent ban for the businesses of the commercial entity. Kuwait appointed new Prime Minister. Kuwait named the Emir's son as Prime Minister on Sunday, replacing caretaker Premier Sheikh Sabah Al Khalid, who faced a competitive parliamentary feud between the government and elected assembly that has hindered fiscal reform. Crown Prince Sheikh Mishal Al Ahmad Al Sabah, who took over most of the ruling emir's duties late last year, named Sheikh Ahmad Nawaf Al Sabah to the post in an emiri decree. Oman announced more than 301,000 hours of part-time jobs. The Ministry of Labour has announced the availability of 301,172 hours of part-time jobs as part of an initiative codenamed A Million Hours of Employment in government units. The opportunities are open for job aspirants with different qualifications: 175 for holders of bachelor's degree, 43 for holders of post-general education diploma, 35 for general education diploma holders, and 44 for any literate contestants. The ministry will allow a period of 2 weeks for the competitors to register for the announced jobs. UAE reported 3 new monkeypox cases, total number rise to 16. The United Arab Emirates recorded 3 new cases of the monkeypox virus on Sunday. The country's health ministry said in a statement. The new cases were identified early on due to monitoring and investigation. The Ministry of Health and Prevention advised people to follow all the safety guidelines and take preventive measures whilst traveling or meeting people at gatherings. Residents who contract monkeypox must quarantine for 21 days, health officials have said, amid a global outbreak of the potentially fatal disease. A record number of COVID-hit Australians in hospital as Omicron surges. The number of Australians admitted to hospitals with COVID-19 hit a record of about 5,450 on Monday, official data showed. As the spread of highly contagious new Omicron subvariant strains the healthcare system nationwide, the figure has grown since late June, as the BA4 and BA5 strains became dominant since they have evaded immune protection, whether from vaccination or prior infection. While some experts say the latter can be as infectious as measles, Reuters reported. Volcanic eruption in Japan forces evacuation in 2 towns. Dozens of people evacuated to 2 towns on Japan's main southern island of Kyushu, where a volcano spewed ash and large rocks into the nighttime sky. Large rocks fell as far as 2.5 kilometers from the volcano in the southern prefecture of Kagoshima. Footage on Japan's NHK public television showed orange flames flashing near the crater and dark smoke with ash billowing high above the mountain top. Japan's meteorological agency raised the eruption alert to the highest level of 5 and advised 51 residents in 2 towns facing the volcano to leave their homes, the Associated Press reported. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I am Vinod Narayanan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.